The African Foreign Affairs Ministers met in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to review the ongoings at the International Criminal Court (ICC), a week after the Hague-based judicial institution dropped crimes against humanity charges against Deputy President William Ruto and Joshua Arap Sang. And though Ruto and Sang are off the ICC hook, the African Union Council of Ministers is piling pressure on the court to stop pursuing 3 Kenyans accused of corruptly influencing prosecution witnesses, leading to trial chamber's verdict that the case was a mistrial. Under the chairmanship of Ethiopia's Foreign Affairs Minister Tedros Adhanom, the AU Council of Ministers insist it was no longer viable for Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda to insist that the Kenyan government hands over Walter Osapiri Baraza, Paul Gisheru and Philip Koech to answer to charges of tampering with witnesses, charges that carry a 5-year jail term. The trial chamber, while terminating the Ruto Sang charges, ruled that witnesses had been interfered with and the case meddled with politically.
This case was ultimately eroded by a perfect storm of witness interference and intense politicization of the court's legal mandate and work. There was a relentless campaign to identify individuals who could serve as prosecution witnesses in this case and ensure that they would not testify.
The AU ministers insist the African member states to the Rome Statute were still keen on walking out of the ICC unless a set of conditions is fulfilled. Key among them, that sitting heads of state and government be insulated from prosecution at The Hague, a privilege they want extended to senior government officials. The Council of Ministers is also pushing for the recognition of African judicial mechanisms and that decisions of the African Union Assembly take precedence over the Rome Statute that establishes the Hague-based court. The African Union is also seeking to mutilate the powers of the ICC prosecutor and reduce her influence in conducting investigations and recommending charges. The African Union has often been accused of condoning impunity and insulating leaders from taking responsibility for acts of violence and human rights abuses in their countries. But the Council of Ministers claim the ICC was a tool of suppression used by the foreign nations to influence African politics and insist the court must be reformed. Francis Gashore, Monday Special.